Welcome to our vlog.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. This video will explain a lot about who I am today and how I got here. Earlier this year, I got diagnosed with ADHD. What is ADHD? That's actually a really good question. Symptoms include limited attention and hyperactivity. Treatments include medication and talk therapy. For me, getting a diagnosis for ADHD has been really helpful. Since I've got this diagnosis, I've done a lot of looking back into my childhood to see what were some of the early symptoms. Looking back, I never liked things a normal amount. Long story short, I have ADHD now. I've always had it, that's a joke. So today is going to be a tier list of every hyperfixation I've ever had. What is a hyperfixation, you may ask? I'm gonna use the dictionary again. ADHD hyperfixation refers to a strong and prolonged interest or focus in something. Hyperfixation typically happens with things the individual enjoys or finds fascinating. Growing up, I thought it was normal to just kind of always be thinking about the thing that I was hyperfixated on in the back of my mind all the time when doing other things. Apparently that's not normal. Before I get into the list, yes, I'm gonna be annoying about it. Subscribe to my channel. Click the little notification bell. Like the video. I promise it's gonna be a good one. Without further ado, here is my every hyperfixation I've ever had tier list. First up we have Junie B. Jones. When I was a kid, I based my personality on Junie B. Jones to the point where like I spoke like her and I thought like her. At the core of my personality is just Junie B. Jones. I had a really awesome time in elementary school because of it. Anyways, God, I am just her. Like, that's just me. Junie B. Jones. I feel like I'm gonna give her a B for Junie B. Jones. Ooh, next up we have Wicked. I have been waiting for this movie for the last, 20 years of my life. As a kid, I listened to Wicked so much when I got the CD gifted to me for Christmas that when my mom took me to see the Wicked tour as a kid, I started singing along when the actors came on stage. I learned very quickly that you're not supposed to do that. I think I can still sing this entire soundtrack. I think A tier. I'm probably gonna have a lot of strong opinions about the movie though. Webkins. So I have a history with Webkins, and because of that history, I now have 9 million views on a TikTok. I went back to Webkins after not playing it for a while and I forgot what the Webkins yawn sounded like. You know what? Just roll the tape. Just roll the tape.
Y'all, my MacBook keeps yawning at me, and I'm so confused. What is that? There's literally nothing on the internet about it. Someone help me.
Webkins were like the only thing for a couple years that I wanted for my birthday, for Christmas. If someone was just gonna get me a present, I'd be like, get me a Webkins. I want the little code inside of it, and I want that little guy in my computer now. I still really like Webkins. I'm gonna put it in A tier with Wicked. Should I make a Webkins video? Guys, I'm gonna make a video where I play Webkins. Stay tuned, stay tuned. Scooby-Doo. I really like Scooby-Doo to this day. The best are Mystery Incorporated and the live action movies. They're still so good. I'm gonna put Scooby-Doo down with Junie B. Jones because they canceled Mystery Incorporated like stupid idiots. Don't even get me started on Mystery Incorporated. I love that show. Okay, so the next one that I have is Wipeout. Listen. My dad, when I was 4 or 5, somehow got me hooked onto Wipeout. That was my Cocomelon, for real. I was so convinced that I could win Wipeout. I'd be like, I could do that. Why can't they do that? They are weak. As a 7-year-old kid. And part of me kind of thinks I still could go on Wipeout and win. Should I go on Wipeout? No, I shouldn't. I shouldn't go on Wipeout. But I kind of want... No, I'm not going to go on Wipeout, probably. If this video gets 200 million likes, I'll go on Wipeout. How about that? I feel like if I went back and watched it now, I wouldn't like it that much. I feel like I'd get bored. The editing was kind of a lot. And that's coming from me. I'm going to give Wipeout... I don't think it's F tier, but why are those switched? Hold on. Okay, I fixed it. Wipeout, C tier. Kim Possible. I was a Disney Channel kid. For the purposes of this video, I just picked my big 3, which were Kim Possible, Wizards of Waverly Place, and Phineas and Ferb. Out of all 3 of those, Kim Possible was really good, but I don't feel like I have as much of an attachment to it. I feel like it's not as bad as Wipeout. Maybe I'll put it on B. Wizards of Waverly Place. Probably my favorite of any of the sitcoms that were on Disney Channel. In my little child brain, I got my wires crossed and I thought that Selena Gomez and Alex Russo were the same person. I made my parents buy Borden milk because she endorsed it, and one time she came to our local mall and my sweet, sweet father put me on his shoulders for 2 hours just so that I could see her talking about her movie Monte Carlo. I don't remember the plot of Monte Carlo. I just remember that I went and saw it because Selena Gomez was in it. I feel like the show has probably not aged the best when it comes to, like, me liking it. C for Wizards of Waverly Place. Phineas and Ferb. Such a good show. I watched Phineas and Ferb from when it aired to when it ended. And when it ended, everybody else had moved on, but I was still at the restaurant. Well, I'll be honest, I don't really understand, but I fell down the stair and I got glue on my hands. Like, you're joking. You're joking. S tier. We got our first S tier, and it's Phineas and Ferb. The Muppets. Muppets is pretty great. I don't really have any bad feelings towards the Muppets, except for the fact that it's owned by Disney now, and it's just sitting in a box, and Disney won't do anything with it. And I don't understand why they won't do anything with it, because the Muppets are so important. The Muppets are so sweet. I love the Muppets. Spat on my computer, because I'm really enthusiastic about the Muppets. I think the Muppets get S tier. Guys, my favorite fact about the Muppets is that Miss Piggy and Josh Groban have gotten together. What do you mean, Miss Piggy and Josh Groban? Like, that's so funny. What was the writer's room thinking? Oh, wait. No. It doesn't get to be an S tier because canonically, Miss Piggy and Kermit are broken up. There was no reason to break them up. Harry Potter. On one hand, I really like those books. Harry Potter, like, got me through 5th grade. That's when I really started to feel like a weird kid and be like, oh, I'm not like the people around me. So for that, I'm thankful for Harry Potter. But I hate J.K. Rowling. She is such an awful person that now every time I see Harry Potter anything, I just think about her. There's a couple of aspects of the original story that are not the best. The house elves, for example. I think Harry Potter's going in D tier. J.K. Rowling shouldn't be terrible and then it wouldn't be as far down as it is. Like, it's her fault. Marvel. I really don't like Marvel anymore. I'm just so sick of those movies. Marvel's not my cup of tea anymore. I kind of want to put something in F tier. The MCU where it's at now, I think really needs to change. I'm gonna put it in F tier for now. If they can do better, then maybe it'll move up. But I really don't like the direction that it's been going the last couple years and I've pretty much tuned out. That's gonna be a hot take. It's fine. It's just not my cup of tea at the moment. It's my opinion, it's my video. You don't get to say anything about it. Oh, Pixar, okay. I was super into like Pixar lore and the Pixar theory specifically. Don't really care about it that much anymore. I kind of feel the same as I do about Marvel, where I just haven't cared in a while. I don't want to make people who like Disney and Marvel upset. I see the appeal. Just at this current time in my life, I'm very fatigued with Marvel and with Pixar. You know what? Some of the OG Pixar movies are so good, I'm gonna move it up to D tier. Here's where we start to get into the things that got me through middle school. This is what I'll call the cartoon and animation segment of the video, because for the first couple years of middle school, I got really into cartoons and anime. And so I've selected those that really had me in a chokehold for that time in my life. Starting with My Little Pony. On one hand, My Little Pony was such a cute show. The characters were really sweet. I feel like it had some good lessons. On the other hand though, My Little Pony is kind of the reason I'm chronically online. You know, I went on YouTube one day to look up some scene that I had seen in a My Little Pony episode to rewatch it, and now I know what Rainbow Factory is. I don't think it's a red flag if you like that show. I think people were really weird about that show back in the day and made a lot of very weird and violent things about a piece of children's media. I'm putting it in F tier. I think it's still a great show. I think it's a cute show. Just my experiences with it, I'm putting it at the bottom. Okay, oh, Gravity Falls. I love Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls was also a show that I watched from when it started to when it ended, and I was so invested in the lore. And it's so funny. Like, Gravity Falls is going in S tier. It's such a good show. It honestly might be my favorite show of all time. It's so rewatchable. It's so funny. I love that show. Adventure Time. Not one that I actually really got into until a couple of years ago. I like watched it as a kid on and off, but I actually sat down and watched it for the entire time in like 2020, 2021. My cat's birthday was Adventure Time themed because it's his favorite TV show. I think Adventure Time's gonna go an A for Adventure Time. You may be looking at this list and thinking, what are you thinking, Zoe? I really like that thing, or I really don't like that thing. Why are you putting it up so high? You think anything I do is logical? This is my list. This is my list based on my feelings when I see the little square at the bottom of the tier list. You don't get to make the decision, I do. It doesn't have to be sensical. In fact, it's gotta be nonsensical. So shut up and let me make my list. On that note, Steven Universe. Steven Universe really was, I think, the thing that made me go from being a regular amount of not normal about media that I consumed to really, really not normal about the media that I consumed. You really had to be there for all the drama, the controversy. If you don't know Pearl Sings the Party LA, don't talk to me. Hearing the word Lapadot does kind of make all of my insides rise to my throat. So that's not great. I think that I still have a hard time not cringing when I think about Steven Universe, you know? Star vs. the Forces of Evil. I loved this show when it came on. I loved it so much. After about the second season, everything just got out of hand. I don't remember that many of the details about it. I remember that just the ending was stupid. Ugh! Oh, it's making me mad just thinking about it. I think for that reason, Star vs. is gonna go in D tier. The show overall is really good. I just do not agree with the direction that it took. Yuri on Ice. Oh god, Yuri on Ice. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I definitely went through a big anime phase in middle school. Yuri on Ice was definitely the biggest one. It really was such a cultural phenomenon for teenagers on Tumblr in 2016. But it was one of those shows similar to Steven Universe that put Small Bean I feel like it's one of those shows that puts Small Bean into my vernacular as a teenager. And I was just really cringe about it. I don't mean to bully me of the past, but like, Zoe, what was wrong with you? Oh god, I'm just getting so many flashbacks. Why did I act like that with this show? Ew, okay. Oh god, okay. Okay. I think if I rewatched the show, I'd still cry. I think I'm gonna put it next to Steven Universe. I feel like that is accurate, because I still think it's a really good show. Thinking about me at that time does still make me get a little knot in my stomach. Oh god, I haven't thought in depth about Yuri on Ice in years. Jesus Christ. Maybe I should rewatch it. Okay, the next piece of media that I hyperfixated on was Miraculous Ladybug. Major spoiler warning for Miraculous Ladybug. This show came out in 2015. In 2015, I was 13 years old. I'm now 22, and the show is going up on its 9th season. The plot is about these two superheroes in Paris, France. One of them is Ladybug, one of them is Cat Noir. Marinette is Ladybug. Adrian is Cat Noir. The really interesting part of the show, though, is that Marinette has a crush on Adrian, but Cat Noir has a crush on Ladybug. That's a pretty good plot for a show, having this, like, weird love square. You'd think that, right? You know how I said that the show came out 9 years ago and it's going on its 9th season? Ladybug and Cat Noir still don't know that they are Marinette and Adrian. This show has been on for 9 years. 9 years! And they still have not revealed their secret identities to each other. I recently went back and caught up with the show a little bit. Marinette and Adrian are dating, and they don't know that they are Ladybug and Cat Noir. They are changing the entire animation style of the show, and Ladybug and Cat Noir do not know each other's secret identities. Adrian's father, Gabriel Agreste, who is the main villain of the show, Hawkmoth, died at the end of the last season, and Ladybug and Cat Noir still do not know each other's secret identities. It makes me so upset. It's so stupid. What do you mean they still don't know? Oh my god, I could make a video essay about this show and how infuriating it is. I cannot bring myself to keep up with the show consistently because of how angry it makes me. But if you want me to go and do a deep dive into it, I will. It's just gone on for so long. The show doesn't have 9 seasons worth of material. I was in like 8th grade when it started, and I'm about to graduate college. They still can't tell each other apart. They can't hear each other's voices. Oh my gosh, I need to calm down. It's not that deep, but like, it's so frustrating. Miraculous is going in F tier. I'm so sorry. Next one, Roblox. I played a lot of Roblox as a kid growing up in the computer lab at school. I think Roblox is kind of a bad game. Like, the controls are bad, but it's still funny. I think I'm gonna put it in the D tier. Five Nights at Freddy's. I love Five Nights at Freddy's. I was Foxy from FNAF for Halloween because I still love Five Nights at Freddy's. I love watching gameplay of Five Nights at Freddy's. My favorite game is Sister Location. If you have a different favorite game, you're wrong. I love the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I don't care if it's only good if you know all the lore. I love that movie. The fact that Matt Pat was in it. I'll give Five Nights at Freddy's a C tier. Just right in the middle, you know? Next up, I have animation YouTube. Back in like 2016, 2017, I started getting into like animation YouTubers, I guess. Jaden Animations and Odd Ones Out were the main ones. I haven't caught up with the videos in a while, but I remember them being really funny and really good. I think I'm gonna put Jaden on B tier. Actually, she takes all that time to animate it. A for animation. So I mentioned Five Nights at Freddy's, and I mentioned Jaden Animations. On October 31st, 2015, Jaden Animations would go to post a video that would really the course of my life. Jaden Animations posted, Dan and Phil play FNAF 4 animated. These Dan and Phil guys are funny. Maybe I should go watch the original video that it came from. That really sent me on a big life change, I would say. On one hand, God, the Dan and Phil fandom back in the day was a lot. The controversy and the fighting and the weird getting into people's personal lives was a lot. I feel like this is kind of a lot, guys. I just like the Sims series. And I still really like the Sims series. Dan and Phil are my favorite YouTubers. I'm not afraid to admit it. When I met them, they were really nice people, and I've made a lot of friends because of them now. Now I think that their fans have really mellowed out. I'm putting it in S tier. You may look at that and be like, Zoe, what's wrong with you? It's my tier list. I can do whatever I want. I'm putting my favorite YouTubers at the top of my tier list. Also, a lot of you probably came from my last video where I met them.
Hello, nice to see you.
Nice to meet
Thank you for coming,
Hi.
likewise.
Hi. If you haven't seen that video, they were very nice to me. Their tour was really funny. They're awesome. The Sims series is still like one of my favorite series ever. Dodie is next up. I do still love me some Dodie. About all of 2019, I only exclusively listened to like Dodie and Troye Sivan. Human is one of my favorite EPs ever. I think it's gorgeous. Should Dodie go in S tier? Her music is so good. I still listen to her music. I'm putting her in S tier. Love you, Dodie. Friend of Dodie, Thomas Sanders, specifically the Sanders sides, I was big into. Let's think on it. I haven't watched the Sanders sides in a while. I feel like people give Thomas Sanders a lot of unwarranted hate, and maybe I kind of grew out of the Sanders side series, but I feel like they were really creative. I'm gonna put him in B tier simply because I haven't checked in on him in a while. I don't know the kind of stuff they've been making. I think he's a very talented guy. This just made me want to get back into all of the YouTubers that I stopped watching around the pandemic. Fun fact. Around the pandemic, I started feeling really cringe about liking YouTube and YouTubers, so I just stopped watching all my favorite YouTubers, and now I'm trying to get back into it. So maybe I'll get back into Thomas Sanders, who knows? Next one, beauty gurus. If you were there, you know the amount of drama and toxicity all the time, like that was the core of that fan base. I don't know what those guys are up to now, but most of them got outed as pretty bad people. Dramageddon is one of my favorite things that happened on the internet. However, I don't really watch any of the people in the beauty community or that were connected to them because of all of the terrible things that came out with them around the beginning of 2020. I'm gonna put the beauty guru community in F tier. Sorry about it. Going back to around 2018, 2019, we have the musical quad. I don't know how to describe the musical quad. My best description is that a bunch of theater kids on the internet decided that Hamilton, Heathers, Dear Evan Hansen, and Be More Chill were 4 musicals that should all come together to be a fandom. It was so cringe in the worst way possible. The Hamilton characters were small beamed to death. The animatics were really creative. I did like the animatics. It really enabled a lot of theater kids to be extra annoying and obnoxious. Maybe C tier. It was pretty cringe. Cringe culture is dead. Yes, I know. This is my tier list. I get to do what I want. Tumblr lore. I love me some Tumblr lore. One of my favorite things on YouTube to this day is video documentaries about Tumblr lore. I think my favorite is probably DashCon. I did a speech last semester on DashCon for my speech class because I think it's a very important thing that everyone should know about. And now DashCon 2 is happening, which is even funnier. If anyone wants to get me a ticket to DashCon 2, please, 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 please. I still like Tumblr, I like Tumblr lore. It's just so fascinating. I love internet lore. I'm gonna put it in S tier. Next one, we have 2020 alt TikTok. All I did in 2020 was try to get alt TikTok famous, which is so sad. I tried, all the flavors of Monster Energy. I did make liking frogs and cows and those little pleated skirts my personality. Such a cringe time. On one hand, alt 2020 TikTok was a lot. There were a lot of bad things that came out of it, things so bad that I don't remember most of them. On the other hand, 2020 alt TikTok was the thing that kept me from being a dream S&P stan. So, for that I'm gonna give it a C. Thank you, alt 2020 TikTok, for not letting me get invested in Wilbur Soot. Studio Ghibli. My first year of college, I took a Studio Ghibli class. Specifically, I took a Hamazaki class that really got me into Ghibli. The movies are so gorgeous. I'm gonna put it in S tier. I have nothing but joy in my heart for Ghibli movies. Defunct Land. Defunct Land is probably my favorite video essay channel on YouTube. His videos are so well thought out and so well put together. I'm sure you've seen or heard of the Fast Pass one, and if you haven't seen it, go watch it. I'm also a big fan of the Action Park one. I've fallen out of it the last couple of years. I need to get back into it. I'm gonna put it in A tier though, because they're really great, they're really well thought out. Finally, right now, RuPaul's Drag Race is one of my main hyperfixations. In my second year of college, I got into the show, and now I know way too much about RuPaul's Drag Race. I unwantingly get most of the drama on my dash on Twitter, so that's really awesome. I think the first 9 seasons of Drag Race are amazing. All Stars 2 also is my favorite season of Drag Race. I think it's becoming a little bit predictable. I really did not love the response that everyone had to Angeria. Can't you just be happy for her? She's a sweet lady who won the show. Also, Global All-Stars put a really bad taste in my mouth. But on the other hand, I thought season 16 was really well done. I thought it was really surprising. I thought it had some of the best looks of a season ever. I'm starting to get Drag Race fatigue. I need something to zhuzh it up for me, I'll still watch every episode when it airs. That's actually not true. I didn't watch every episode of Global All-Stars because I got mad about it. I'm gonna put Drag Race in C tier. If it was just drag, S tier. Drag Race has a lot of problems that I think need to be addressed. Here is my entire list. My Little Pony's not as bad as Miraculous Ladybug. It's going up to D tier. No, Wipeout should not be that high. Why did I put Wipeout that high? Wipeout's going in D tier. I think My Little Pony can go up to C tier. I was too hard on My Little Pony because I wanted more things in F tier. I'm sorry. I'm putting alt TikTok down in D tier. I'm switching those around. I don't have any notes. I know that there are going to be people in the comments who disagree with me. I know that this video is going to start controversies, but I do not care. This is my tier list, and this is how I feel about these things. That was a very emotional journey that I just went on. That is a solid tier list. I like that tier list. Oh, that was a lot. I'm sure that there were things that I forgot to put on this list. I'll probably edit this and disagree with something.
I have no notes. I stand by everything I said.
The lesson of today's video is like the things you like. I feel like I had a very visceral reaction to a few of those that I didn't think I was gonna have. Some of those really brought back some memories. Oh, I hope you liked the video. I think I need to go lie down. I don't care if some of the things that I still like are cringe. Who cares? Don't let anything I said make you not like something I put on this list. Enjoy the things you want to enjoy. I still enjoy some of the things that I put into F tier, even though they make me mad and upset and make me want to rip my hair out. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked that video, if you related to it, subscribe, give me a like, give me a comment. What do you disagree with? I would love to get in fights with y'all in the comments. I don't want to fight. Please give me your arguments for why I should have put things higher or lower. I feel like I just spilled my soul to someone, just, you know, peeled back the mask of how unnormal I can get about things that I like. Okay, I have to go write a paper. Bye, y'all.